Okay, geographers, made this little video, or I guess I'm in the process of making said little video to help you guys figure out how to get the software you need onto your computer. All right, so what we're going to be using throughout this semester is ArcGIS, okay, which we can see right here, big A, little RC, and then big GIS right there. It's made by the company ESRI. So that's the actual company itself. This is the product we're going to be using, and it's going to be ArcGIS Desktop is the exact thing we're going to do. And I'll show you all these different things in here. So as I've probably already mentioned to you by the time you're watching this, I don't ask you to buy a book. I'm providing you with a lot of either stuff I've written or other resources out there on the web free of charge. So you don't have to pay for a book, but I do want you, since this is an online class, we're not meeting in a lab environment, I would like you to purchase the ArcGIS software. And they have this new deal. This is a good look. All right, let me put it this way. I can't stand this company, ESRI. I find them evil in so many ways. I've been working with them for about 2 decades now, as you know, when I started learning GIS and working with it. And my God, these people, they love money. But so one kind of good thing is that they have at least finally made an affordable version of the software for just everyday people and really for students. Right? And it's important to have this software on your computer just so you can practice with it a lot and work on stuff and learn new things and all of that. That's how I learned how to use it. It's how I actually finally got work in GIS and developed more skills and advanced into new positions and things like that. It was having a copy on my own computer and playing around with it, right? Just seeing what I could do. Now, back in the good old days, they didn't have this $100 a year deal. We had to get more creative with how we got it onto our personal computer. Like I'm not saying nothing about what we did before this, but this, at least you don't have to commit a crime. I'm not saying I did, but at least you don't have to do that. This $100 a year, it could be better, but it's not that bad. All right, and keep in mind too, just the basic software. Last time I priced it, I don't even know when that was, but just for the ArcGIS Desktop, what they call basic these days, that was like $1,500 to get that. And then they wanted this annual maintenance fee and all sorts of other ways to take money from you. This advanced setup we've got right here, ArcGIS Desktop Advanced, it was something like, for the first one of these licenses, it was like $14,000 to get what they called Arc Info back in the good old days. So that's a pretty good deal, right? If you look at it that way, they could still help students out a little bit more, but we'll take what we can get. Okay, so yeah, you will need to pony up $100, as well as, I don't know if I've spoken to you guys about this yet or not. I think you have it written out somewhere in the course, but you need a computer for this stuff to run on, right, on which you can load the program and use it. And unfortunately, and this is probably another money evil thing, you can only use it on a Windows operating system. All right, so if you're a Mac person, you can't use this, at least not right off the bat, right? You would need to get a copy of Windows on your Mac through Boot Camp or Parallels or something like that. It can be a pain, but it's also doable. So if you're a Mac person, do some Googling, some YouTube viewing on like Parallels. I did that before and ran it, and it worked fine. If you have a decent Windows computer to start with, fantastic. you'll be fine. And if you need to buy one, if you decide, you know what, I'm going to finally do it and upgrade and all that, you can look in here somewhere, I'm sure, and find the minimum requirements for the computer in terms of processor and memory and all that stuff. But generally, what you want to do is not go cheap. Okay, spend as much as you are comfortable with to get a better processor, to get more memory, to get a good hard drive, and I'm thinking I have this stuff all written out somewhere there. And if you have any questions, let me know. I can help you figure that out. But basically, the issue is this software takes a lot of resources to operate on your computer, and it sucks if you don't have a good computer. Well, you'll be, you hit a button and you wait 5 minutes for it to do anything, right? So you're going to need a computer that can run this. You're going to need this software. Once you buy this, give them your $100. You have to set up an account, I'm sure, to go ahead and do that. Once you do it, you're going to get 2 emails when you purchase the thing. One's going to be a receipt, and the other one is the order fulfillment confirmation. And in that one, it's got a link. And if you click on that, it's going to take you to this page with all of your information here. And there's some key things. And this, believe it or not, I was looking through this earlier. I just bought a new version of this today for our semester and the next semester and all that. Believe it or not, this is actually seems more streamlined than it has been, but it's still terrible. The actual, just, paying for it, really easy. Actually getting it and using it and knowing what you're doing is god awful. So that's why I'm doing this. I want to show you some things in here. The 2 real issues you need to have here are the download software and the software authorizations. Okay, just remember this. I'm not going to click on it, but it'll give you your special code to authorize the software. So down the road, once we actually install the thing, it's going to ask you for a code, and it starts with like an EU or an ESU or something like that, I think, for everybody. But it'll be some lengthy code. You're going to put that in somewhere down the road. Okay, so just remember that's where you find it. And then download software. If you click on this, it'll tell you, hey, you got some stuff, and here's what you're going to do. So I'll go to the download page to show you. And so in here, we've got a few different options. We're just going to work with ArcGIS Desktop. All right. And yours, you might not have as much stuff in here as I do. We have ArcGIS 4 Desktop 10.4. I think that's just what they called it back in the 10.4 days. As I'm recording this now, the latest appears to be 10.8.1. Just put the latest thing on your computer. It can be a pain because what they do, again, evil people, is if you make something in a new version of the software, you can't then open up like the map document or some of the stuff that we'll see. You can't open it up on another computer that's running an older version, right? So if I download this 10.8.1 and you're running 10.7, or whatever, I could send you something, but you can't open it because it'll say, sorry, it's based with a newer version or something along those lines. Unless they fixed it with 10.8.1, but I doubt it because it means they get us to keep paying for this, right? So it's a huge pain. And I tried to set up the class, so that's not an issue depending on what version you're running. But just if you're already doing this right off the bat, just go with a new one. That's what I'm going to do, and it'll keep us a little more streamlined here. All right, and then this view downloads, click on this, and you get in here, and it's showing you all these. I mean, you get so much stuff you could possibly get. All we really want is this ArcGIS Desktop. Okay, just that. So you're going to download that, right? Just with the button here. Now you also have, these are kind of cool, some of the tutorial stuff and data and maps for ArcGIS. This, if you got the room and you got the time, download it, because it's got some good stuff that you can play around with, data I'll get into that. That can be a challenging thing to find. So if you got some decent stuff, right? It's not the best, but it's decent. But I'll also be supplying you with data for a lot of this stuff. But for now, and you can, they've got these apps and things and it just goes on and on. Don't get bogged down in all that. All we want is this ArcGIS Desktop for right now. And to save time, I've already downloaded it right here. So you save it to your computer, run the thing. Let's just see what happens here. Sure, let's put it there. We'll see. I don't know if this starts to take too long. I'll just end it and add some more to the end. I think. Well, okay, we got that part. Yeah. All right, making progress. And yeah, okay, thank you for welcoming me. Yeah, okay. I graciously accept your master agreement, which sounds evil. We're just going to do complete with this thing. And the extensions, just so you know, the extensions are they're additional stuff. I'll point that out as we go. It's extra tools, effectively, and these you should have access to all of them. So we're gonna load them all up, and I'll point them out when we get there if it shows it. Yes, okay, perfect. We'll add Python. We'll install. And you should probably, as you're going through this, actually take the time to read what it's saying. I ain't got time for that. I'm a busy man, got stuff to do. And that could be why I also find this so difficult to install sometimes, is because I get bored as I go through and I stop reading it. But I want to do this for you guys because every semester I have a handful of students who, come to me and say, I'm trying it, but then this doesn't work and I can't find this and, all of that. So I'm doing this so you can watch me do it. Make sure you're doing the same thing. Okay. One of the key things that students will have problems with is this, they don't do ArcGIS Desktop. They do the ArcGIS Pro, which sounds cool, right? Like, who doesn't want to be a pro? With GIS, obviously, we're not using it. It's a thing. I don't know why they do it, other than I think they just wanted more money. I have a book. I've been meaning to teach myself like how ArcGIS Pro operates. I opened it up a semester or two ago and looked at it and went, oh, it looks very appy. It's not the hardcore, good old stuff. Right, that's what this ArcGIS Desktop is, all reliable. And as far as I know, from the folks I've spoken with, if you're getting a job working with this stuff, chances are, if you're doing like real GIS, you're still using this ArcGIS Desktop. And I could be wrong. We'll and if you hear otherwise, please do let me know, and I'll finally force myself to learn their cute version of this stuff. But ArcGIS Desktop is where it's at. All right. So this is still thinking. I'll just hang out. I suppose I could. Oh, look, you know what? I've got this little new screen recorder I'm testing out. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll start recording again when this is done so that you guys don't have to sit here for the 20 minutes that I do. All right. So let's try it. Okay, so I'm back, and it took about 15 hours, but it seems to be done. So we'll finish. And then this administrator thing. This is where you're going to go in and authorize it and make sure everything's cool so it works. So we got a couple of things here. This concurrent use, you get these types of licenses when you are at some kind of big agency company or whatever, where you have 5 licenses of like in this case, Advanced or ArcInfo, whatever, that everybody can share, right? So you can only have 5 people working at any one time. What we just did was this single use thing right here. Okay. And we did Advanced, the ArcInfo. ArcInfo is the old name. Advanced is their new one. And then we have this, let's see, let's try this authorize now. Perfect. I've installed my software and I need to authorize it. And so I'm not going to keep going on because then it gets into my address, I think, and phone number and all that. And I don't know you guys well enough for that yet. So yeah, but as you continue through, you'll put in your personal info and then it'll finally get to that authorize thing. And remember, you put back here, wherever it was when we first saw that, right? Okay, go back one more time. Yes, the software authorizations. That's where you get that number. It's like letters and numbers. Plug that in. You should be authorized. It'll also ask you, do you want to authorize extensions? And I think you use the exact same code in here to do so. At the very least, spatial analyst is a really useful one. I don't think we're not going to use it, I don't think, in this class, but if you do more work with me later on, we might use it. So you might as well authorize spatial analyst. 3D analyst is kind of cool. Geostatistical analyst is kind of cool. And then with the other ones that they'll have, some of them are very industry specific. So it's really up to you. I mean, do them all if you want, if you got the space on your computer. I think actually everything's already loaded up in the way that we did it. So it's like you might as well authorize them all if you can. All right. But once you get that set, then what you'll do is you'll go into your, the little Windows guy down here, find ArcGIS, and I'll be showing you that in, I think, in the next video that you guys see. I'll get into opening that up and what it is and so on. And that next video, it might be one I've already recorded that I show you. I don't know. I'm stitching this together. It's like a Frankenstein thing at this point. But it may have been recorded in a past version in 10.7 or 6 or 5 or one of those. It should look quite similar. All right, so don't freak out if it's a different number. You should be able to see everything, and I'll be checking this stuff, watching that next video that I have for you guys, and making sure it's still current. And if not, I'll update it and fix that. Okay, so happy installing. Best of luck. Feel free to shoot me an email or whatever if you're stuck with this stuff. But also, do keep in mind the ESRI folks, they should be able to help you. Support ESRI.com right there. Utilize them because it's their stuff. They're the actual tech people. And also don't hesitate to Google any of your questions with any of this GIS stuff that we do, because chances are there's a forum or something where somebody already ran into that problem and they went on to fix it. All right. Best of luck, geographers.